promise that you won't hear some things for the third time over in this speech because I forgot to coordinate with everyone else. But well done to the class of 2014. I know that we all think that we're immortal right now, and we should feel that way. We're graduating. The future is and should be bright, but like our brief 4 years in high school, what makes life valuable is that it doesn't last forever. What makes it precious is that it ends. I know that now more than ever, and I say it today, of all days, to remind us that time is luck. So don't waste it living someone else's life. Make yours count for something. Because even if you fall short, what better way is there to live? And that was the graduation speech from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I've tried very hard to think of funny stories about my classmates that wouldn't embarrass anyone, but would still get a laugh out of everyone. And really, I was afraid that I wouldn't find anything and come to the realization that I was a terrible person who found humor in the suffering of others. But luckily, I found that the past 2 years have brought out in us a sense of humor that doesn't prey on embarrassment, but on the mutual suffering that we've endured at the hands of the IB. We're something of a unique year group, we're a combination of outward indifference and inward terror at failing, and it makes for what looks like effortless success. And the truth is, we do know the key to effortless success. It's to lower your standards. We call it redefining success on your own terms. But even though we've had this ultimate key to success all along, I know none of us have taken advantage of that knowledge in our academic career thus far. This year group is one that will speak up when they feel something is wrong, when they want to change the way things are run, or even to express their approval of an idea. I took theater arts, which was a really good idea. And one piece of coursework that I did was I staged a piece of invisible theater. And for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's where you stage conflict in a public space and you feed off the reactions of other people to stimulate debate. And so in my English class, I staged an argument between a Year 12 student and Malika, where the Year 12 student felt that Malika should be punished in school for her bad behavior outside of school, which is completely fictional because she never misbehaves. And proud Jamie and I were scripted to defend her against the Year 12 student so that other students may join in. And to my surprise, proud Jamie and I were completely useless because Sandhya began doing what was very close to verbally abusing the Year 12 student. And it was great to see her stand up so passionately and fiercely for one of her classmates. And while she was very angry with me afterwards, we're still friends. Or as close as friends you can get with Sandhya, because she says she doesn't have feelings, but I know better. But what it really showed me is that our class is probably the best to be in. And it's a little bit strange to be representing a group that, for the most part, I felt like I've been looking in on from the outside. When I first came here in Year 5, I wasn't exactly welcomed with open arms, but things couldn't be more different now. Over the past 9 years, I've seen us go from running around the halls playing rubber band games to sitting around sofas, Snapchatting. And I could see that this was us learning to channel our reckless energy from actively excluding people because we could, to actively working harder, and as a result, including everyone who came into our year group. Because we realized that to exclude a person was to exclude a valuable set of skills, a personality, a sense of humor, and the potential answers to our homework. Year 12 saw a huge transition for us where we lost most of our old year group, but we gained a very, very, very special group of new students. And we could have kept to ourselves and to our groups, but instead we became one big group of sleep-deprived students leaning on each other for support, quite literally. But even as we change, we've been able to retain the best of ourselves. The boys know better than anyone that you have to know what you want to get rid of in order to build on what you want to build on. You have to burn the fat to gain the muscle. What we've become as a year group still has a lot to learn, but so far it looks like we're on the road to becoming much better people. And it's always best to get through traumatic experiences with people you can trust. Tennessee Williams actually said we have to distrust each other. It's our only defense against betrayal. And luckily for us, we've always been able to trust our teachers because they have no motive to betray us. We are, after all, their legacy. I would call you the Scorsese to our DiCaprio, but Leo hasn't won an Oscar yet, and one of us will probably get there before him. And it won't even be the drama student. Our teachers are the kind that will let us do things like stage arguments in their classrooms. And not only will they let us, they'll encourage us, and they'll delight in our debate. They're the kind that gets excited for us when we put up posters about the misconceptions of feminism. And it's exactly that kind of guidance that makes our school so special to us. We're taught to question everything. And the IB clearly recognizes how important it is to encourage this, though perhaps doesn't understand how TOK may dampen that spirit slightly. But this is something that's been encouraged in all our areas of study. History and the humanities have taught us to question not only the past and the statistics, but the present, the media, the political, educational, and social structures that we reside in. English and the arts have taught us to express those ideas in different forms and present them as issues to inspire other people to start questioning their lives. Our second language teachers have taught us how to explain those ideas to a wider range of people in very broken grammar. And maths and the sciences look very good on our applications. But also make us contemplate things like infinity, the birth and death of the universe, and things that make us feel absolutely insignificant. But at the same time show us that if we're so insignificant, then our obstacles must be too. So what good are our strengths? To care about each other and to be able to question everything. The best person to answer this question is probably not the one who's most likely to end up waitressing in her 30s. But you may look at us and think that we're so young, so naive and ignorant. Because we are. We are very young. Although I believe you may be more jealous than wary of that. We are naive because we still believe we can change the world. And we're ignorant because we haven't experienced the terrors of the adult world with debt and unemployment. But the difference between bravery and foolishness is motive, not the outcome. And believe me when I say everyone here knows exactly all the different ways they could fail in their future attempts at success without redefining it. And assessing all those things and acting in spite of them is what I consider bravery. And you probably think it sounds like some far-off time where anything you do could be considered brave. But you're probably forgetting that you've just taken on the IB, knowing all the different ways you could have failed and all the different ways A-levels would have helped. But remember that as long as you're working hard and working towards something, whether it's saving starving nations or working diligently at McDonald's, you're making progress against the odds. And that's what makes us great, that we will continue to do that. Thank you.